The San Francisco 49ers just got off the practice field in Santa Clara. They've had OTAs over the last couple of days, and coming up here on the San Francisco 49ers Report, my name is Chase Sr. A lot of news to get to pertaining to this Niners roster. Before we begin, if you want daily Niners coverage from yours truly, hit that subscribe button. You know what I need you to do? If you make that decision to lock us in, I promise you won't regret it. Every time I'm in front of a camera on a microphone talking about the Niners, I want the content to be informative, insightful, entertaining, thought-provoking, where you have a voice. If all of that sounds good, join the movement. And as you can see, we are approaching 162,000 subscribers. Of note today, Ricky Pearsall has a hamstring injury. He is going to be out until the start of Niners training camp. Usually in this Kyle Shanahan era, training camp for the Niners gets underway late July, of course, goes into August. Then the Niners will have those 3 preseason games with the regular season starting up in September. Week 1, Niners will be on the road against Seattle. I'm not worried about Ricky Pearsall being on the field then. What I am worried about, though, is that outside of the gunshot wound last year, which obviously in downtown San Francisco, broad daylight over a Rolex watch, it was unfortunate. Something like that, you just never want it to happen. And I'm glad that Ricky Pearsall is still alive. And last year, during his rookie campaign, especially toward the end of the year, once he was back, acclimated and healthy, he really started to show some flashes. But in the lead up to his rookie year, again, prior to the gunshot wound, he dealt with the hamstring injury. He dealt with the shoulder injury, and he did not practice much, if at all, in the lead up to the season. Did not play at all in the preseason. And so, again, outside of the gunshot wound, injuries continue to be a little bit of an issue for the 2024 first-round pick, who the Niners took with the 31st overall selection. The Niners are really counting on him in this pass game in 2025. He has a lot of ability. Short area quickness and burst, really good route running, good hands. He plays bigger than his size. That allows him to come down with a lot of 50-50 balls. He has some shake and bake to his game. Once he gets his hands on the rock, he can really create plays and make things happen. You just hope that the injuries that he's dealt with so far don't continue to be a problem for him. And we're not sure when Brandon Ayuk is going to come back. And outside of Jauan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall, Jacob Cowing, Tariq Owens, Isaiah Neyor, these players, Jordan Watkins, are very unproven. Demarcus Robinson, Jauan Jennings are proven wide receivers in that room for San Francisco without Brandon Ayuk. And he can miss some time due to him tearing 3 ligaments inside his knee. And so the Niners pass game is going to be reliant on Ricky Pearsall this upcoming year. The Niners can't afford for him to continue to get hurt. They need him on the field to see what he can do, and they can't afford to have another whiff in the first round. So let's hope Ricky Pearsall can get back healthy very soon. As for rookie wide receiver Jordan Watkins, continues to look the part. This is a player at Ole Miss and at Louisville who had a very impressive college career. And he impressed during rookie minicamp. He is now impressing during Niners OTAs. Kyle Shanahan loved him in the pre-draft, and we know that Kyle Shanahan is tough on wide receivers. And this is a player who could have a role in 2025. Runs a 4.3, only 6 drops in his college career in 60 games and 42 starts. He caught a touchdown every 5.4 catches in 2024. The only FBS player with 5 catches of 60 yards or more. He's explosive, he's fast, he tracks the ball well, and he catches everything within his catch radius. He also has a bigger lower half than what I was expecting for a guy who runs 4.3. Jordan Watkins. Remember the name when the season comes around because he's impressing and turning heads already. So too is Jauan Jennings. The Jauan Jennings and Brock Purdy connection today was on fire. Just like it was last year when Jennings led all Niners receivers in receiving yards, was the number 1 wideout, not Deebo Samuel, not Brandon Ayuk because he was hurt. It was number 15 here. Always comes through on money downs, 3rd and 4th down. He's so clutch. Big body who can go up and get it. Great contested catch guy. great run blocker, has incredible toughness, a savvy route runner where he doesn't have blazing speed, but he's very decisive. And with his body movements, length, and head movements, he's able to create separation. And today, he looked fantastic. Grant Cohn calling him a bigger Michael Crabtree. The 49ers, with Jauan Jennings going into the final year of his contract, should sign him right now. And if they sign him right now, they can save a lot of money, and they can get him at a big discount. He's making less than $8 million this season on the 2-year deal that he signed going into last year. If he goes out there in 2025 and has a year like he did in 2024, where he nearly had 1,000 yards, he could cost upwards of $15 million. If you sign him now, you might be able to get him at 11. And he embodies everything that the Niners are about. Love ball, toughness, great for the culture, and he's just consistently reliable with the way that he plays. And him and Brock Purdy, they're developing quite the rapport. More injury news here. Safety Ji'Ayir Brown got ankle surgery. He is out until training camp. This Niners safety depth chart is a concern going into 2025. Keep in mind there are free agents out there like Justin Simmons, a 4-time second-team All-Pro. Julian Blackmon is also still out there. And Malik Mustafa, we're not sure when he's going to come back either. He had that surgical repair on his ACL because he hurt that knee in the regular season finale against Arizona. And so now Mustafa's out. Ji'Ayir Brown is out until at least training camp. You have Jason Pinnock, who you signed in free agency. Richie Grant, who you signed in free agency. The rookie Marquise Siegel out of Kansas State did not practice here today. George Odom, more of a special teams player. You have Jalen Mahoney. The point is, you were thin at that safety position, and this is a big year coming up for Ji'Ayir Brown. As for Christian McCaffrey, he is back. Kyle Shanahan saying he's as healthy as he can be. Kind of conflicting reports on how he looked at practice today. Again, it's the first public practice for OTAs, and we're sitting here on Thursday, May 29th. There's a lot of time to get ready for the upcoming season. Some people said he looked slow. Others said he looked great. There were some clips of him on the practice field with some solid footwork. Way too early to know. But Kyle Shanahan saying he's as healthy as he can be. He added by saying we have to try to protect him from himself. I know he's excited about how healthy he feels and how he can be out there. Look, he's so dynamic when he is his normal self, and he's one of the top overall offensive players and football players in the National Football League when he's playing up to his capabilities and to his standard. And he's the engine that makes this Niners offense go because of his versatility, how much he's relied upon, and everything that he can do on the football field. Trent Williams, not at Niners OTAs. Matt Mayoko with this tweet, Trent Williams not currently at the Niners offseason program, according to Kyle Shanahan. Shanahan said, quote, he's been around. He was here at the beginning of phase 1. He hasn't been here for a couple of weeks, but I expect to see him soon. There was a clip that was circulating on X last night of him working out at a gym. He's a big dude. Some people said he looked out of shape. He's an offensive tackle. Offensive tackles are big guys. Fred Warner on the return of Robert Saleh and Saleh being back in the building. Quote, it's crucial. Robert Saleh, I think, is going to help this defense dramatically improve. He's going to put players in a better position to succeed. He's going to maximize players. He's going to help the development of younger players. He has talked openly this offseason about making adjustments, being creative, changing defensive trends, catching up with what opposing offenses are doing across the NFL, staying ahead of the curve, being willing to make adjustments. And I just think the jump from Nick Sorensen to Robert Saleh is massive. It's like going from Sean Desai to Vic Fangio for the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles were one of the worst defenses in the NFL in 2023, number 1 defense in 2024. Niners were one of the worst defenses in 2023 or 2024, and they weren't that good in 2023. I expect them to be so much better in 2025 because Robert Saleh. And for Fred Warner to say that, it's meaningful. George Kittle, he's there. Again, OTAs are optional. Voluntary workouts. He said, quote, the vibes are immaculate, And he added, missing the playoffs is absolutely terrible, and I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. But if you do, you have to take advantage of it. And he's talking about taking advantage of it by saying, we're here at OTAs. A lot of our marquee players are here. The likes of myself, Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, Christian McCaffrey, they are on hand for Niners OTAs. And he also, again, talked about the vibes, right? Brock Purdy last week in his first public press conference and signing that contract said there's a different feeling around this team right now as compared to this time last year. We're refreshed. We're recharged. Think about what the Niners endured, right? Up until the 2024 season, 4 NFC championship games and 2 Super Bowl appearances in 5 years. It's a lot of football with shorter off seasons, translating to shorter rest periods. And so Kittle has referenced the vibes. Purdy has referenced the vibes. Kyle Shanahan said earlier this offseason at the NFL owners meetings in April that he's as excited for this season as he's been in a very long time. The look on his face last year, him and the whole Niners team played, coached, and looked mentally and physically fatigued. He looked a little bit refreshed when we saw him a couple of months ago. And here's what he said about the Niners being there for OTAs. Last year, guys weren't ready to come back for OTAs, and I told them I understood that. But I told them that I wouldn't understand that this year. And you think about last year's calendar, right? They played in the Super Bowl, human nature. You suffer a heartbreaking, gut-wrenching, crushing defeat like that in February. It takes a little while to recover from that. So February to March to April to May, it's 3+ months. Not a lot of time to flush what happened the year prior to already get ready for the next season. Well, the Niners this year, they didn't make the playoffs. They had a longer offseason. That allows you to mentally and physically reset. And right now it seems as though that's benefiting this coaching staff and it's benefiting the roster. That's something that I think fans should be excited about. Also, a player like Nick Bosa is at Niners OTAs. He doesn't need to be there. He's always in tip-top shape. He's one of the best defensive players in the National Football League. He's making $34 million per year, but he knows that it's important to be there because the Niners collectively are trying to flush and put in the past of what happened last year in 2024, which is unacceptable for the Niners standard. This tweet from Nick Wagner is a good one. Not participating during today's voluntary OTA practice. Did not see offensive tackle Trent Williams, wide receiver Brandon Ayuk, safety Ji'Ayir Brown, linebacker Curtis Robinson, offensive tackle Andre Dillard, wide receiver Trent Taylor, defensive lineman Yetur Gross-Matos, quarterback Curtis Rourke. Rourke's coming off a ACL surgery. Ayuk, too, hurt his knee. Ji'Ayir Brown had that ankle surgery. Curtis Robinson coming off an ACL injury. Not sure about Dillard and Trent Taylor. Yetur Gross-Matos, he did have a kid, or at least his wife did. He's obviously a part of that process. Wide receiver Ricky Pearsall came out to the field about halfway through. He did not participate. Watching and/or working on the side. How about safety Malik Mustafa? Coming off that ACL surgery, he was there. Safety George Odom, safety Marquise Siegel, defensive end Robert Beal, defensive tackle Evan Anderson, tight end Ross Dwelly, who's back, tight end Jake Tonches, and defensive tackle Alfred Collins. Collins, the Niners' second-round pick, has been dealing with a calf injury this offseason. Man, it is so awesome to talk some Niners football. And it gets me pumped up for the 2025 season. If you want some Niners gear looking ahead to the 2025 campaign, what a fantastic deal this is. Limited time only. This shirt, Faithful to the Bay, on sale for just $18. You can get it now thanks to our friends at Fanatics. It will redirect you to that site. That link will, chatsports.com/faithful.